What is going on, fellow Jets fans? So we've been fighting a lot, strangely, even though we have a lot to root for. And I'm not delving into the getting pulled down into the weeds of Zach Wilson versus Mike White stuff because it's a trick. It's a gimmick. It's a gimmick to turn you into saying bad things about Zach Wilson, who's someone on our team who's not even dressing and who probably won't dress for at least another 2 weeks. So I'm not falling for that trick. I recommend you don't either. And I also recommend that even if you believe that Zach Wilson should be starting and you just believe that you know more about football and have better, intel on the quarterback room than our coaches and players, and maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. They're not perfect. Maybe you know better. But Mike White's playing probably the rest of the year is what it is. So let's just root for him and let's not ruin what is the first stretch of meaningful December football games we've had in 6 years. That's to start. Now let's talk about something related to quarterback that we can all agree on. All of us can agree that Joe Flacco cannot take the field under any circumstance for the New York Jets the rest of the season, and that Zach Wilson needs to be activated as quarterback too. Whatever they're doing, whatever he's working on, look, you sit him 1 week, he's just got to get his head right. I understand that. But at this point, you got to figure out a way to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish with the development of Zach Wilson and have him at least be ready to be quarterback too, especially the way this offensive line is playing. And Joe Flacco, look, he has a Super Bowl ring. No one could take it from him. He's got more money than you or I will ever see in your life. Good for him. He won one of the first 3 games, which was his job as the backup. But he came in that game. Oh my goodness. You could tell he didn't even want to play. Like, he wanted no part of that. He wanted to be on a beach somewhere with a Corona in his hand, right? He comes in. I think he had 3 dropbacks. Misses a wide open Tyler Conklin, misses a wide open Garrett Wilson, and then fumbles. I mean, it's like a 6-point swing. If you hit Tyler Conklin, we're in field goal range, then you fumble and the Bills get a field goal. I'm not saying we would have won if that didn't happen, but it was shocking to the extent that he negatively impacted the football game, even though he was just out there for 2 seconds. And Zach Wilson, at the very least, probably could have had the mobility to bail out of there and like throw it away or whatever instead of getting strip sacked. And even if Zach bails and throws an interception, it's better field position, Like, Zach doesn't fumble. Joe Flacco fumbles every time he's touched. So I would take the mobility of Zach Wilson over Joe Flacco because Joe Flacco is just as inaccurate as Zach. He doesn't make good decisions, and he's more immobile than Mike White. He's like the worst of Zach and Mike White's qualities in Joe Flacco. He can't play anymore. And if one of those 2 guys are hurt, I would literally put Stravler at quarterback too and take my chances with him running around if it came down to it. I really would. I really, really would. I think that's something most of us can probably agree on. Don't have to be so divided. Got some big games coming up. Go Jets.